Hey, this is Pat from Grinspoon, and I'm here to talk about our new single, Unknown Pretenders, our new album, Whatever, Whatever, and our huge tour going from September through to December, the Whatever, Whenever, Wherever tour. Coming at you.
Beautiful, Pat. We got a bit to get through by the sound of it. Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure, mate. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Very well. And yourself?
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. Sun's out. Happy.
Beautiful to hear. So we'll start off with the single, bro. So Grinspoon recently dropped your first piece of new music in 12 years with Unknown Pretenders. So how was the reaction for it?
I think it's been pretty good. Everybody, well, my mum and dad love it. You know what I mean?
That's all that counts.
My wife doesn't mind it either. Yeah, I'd listen. To be honest with you, things seem to be going really well. The tour went on sale last Monday. Tickets are selling really fast, and in this climate, with the amount of bands out there that are touring, we're very happy about that. It was first cab off the rank. You know, we've probably got a couple more singles to go before we release the album, and I think it's been a great kind of return to form. Is a good way to describe Unknown Pretenders for Grinspoon.
Yeah. It was a pretty low-key release too, mate. Like, no one really knew it was coming. So why did you do it like that?
Well, you're right. We didn't do any social media or any kind of big build up to it. I think when we recorded the album, we weren't sure how it was all going to play out. You know what I mean? We wanted to do something that we're really proud of. And it had been 12 years since we recorded an album. And we didn't want it to be shit. And if it was shit, then we weren't going to release it.
Very cool.
You know? So we thought it would be best just keep it on the quiet tour. We were really happy with the results, you know?
Yeah.
And we got there, and we are really happy with the results. And yeah, you know, the fanfare starts now on Heavy Mag.
Fantastic. I like to say, man, like, she wants to return to form. Like, it's a catchy as fuck song, like starting with a chunky guitar riff from yourself before exploding into controlled mayhem. Like, was that particular song chosen as a statement of sorts to say we're back?
It definitely was. You know what I mean? It was kind of, for us to put out new music after such a long time, we wanted it to be a statement, and we wanted like our old fans and I guess our new fans, because we're almost a generational band now. Like, a lot of people's kids are into it, who their parents were into the band when we were first started, you know. And we wanted it to be, yeah, something that we could really hang our hat on and say we're back.
And it comes in at a short, sharp 2 minutes 41 seconds too. So it definitely back to the old days.
Yeah, you don't want it to be any longer than that, I don't reckon.
Not
I reckon
man.
Plenty good.
People's attention spans these days, mate. 2 minutes 40 is probably too long.
It probably is. We should have cut an extra chorus and a verse, I reckon. A minute would have been.
And it was written over 4 years ago, like say back in February of 2020. So you have sat on it for a long time.
COVID. We went into the studio. We did we did a gig down in Adelaide in early, like January 2020. It was like the Adelaide 500. It was a corporate show, and we went into a little studio called in Adelaide. Oh God, I can't even remember the name of it now. I should. I've said it about 10 times today. Ghost Note Recorders.
Yeah.
And we just thought, well, you know, what's everybody got? You know what I mean? Well, maybe we could do some demos. Let's just have some fun. And I think 4 or 5 songs, demos that we came out of that, and Unknown Pretenders was one of those demos.
Right.
So, yeah, good things happen quickly, I guess. And then obviously COVID, and then we couldn't do anything. We couldn't see anyone. We couldn't do any gigs.
Yeah.
So we decided during that time, we thought, instead of maybe, because it was just going to be one song, we're just going to, let's just release a single and just for fun. And in that time, obviously, we talked to Universal, our label, and our management, and what do you think about us doing a full-length record? And they're like, well, only if it's something that you guys really want to do and that you're really happy with, because otherwise it would just be lip service, you know?
Yeah.
And so over that period of time, we had a Dropbox, as all kind of modern bands do, I guess, where each of the writers would put a song in there or an idea whenever something came to them. And then at the end, it was very diplomatic. We kind of went to each of myself and Joe and Phil, who are the main songwriters in the band, and said, okay, you can choose 4 of your songs and we'll go and record them. And that's what we did. So we recorded 12 songs in the end. I think maybe 10 or 11 might make the record in the end. And yeah, it was a really diplomatic process, but it was good because Grinspoon in the past, it's been hasn't been easy to put a record together. You know what I mean? A lot of knives out, a lot of stabby stuff go on the record. So it's a really good representation of who Grinspoon are. You've got me, who writes maybe more traditional classic rocky, more radio stuff. Bill with his pop music, and then Joe with his kind of surf punk, hardcore leanings. So I'll give you one guess of who wrote Unknown Pretenders.
It was Joe.
Yeah.
The press release says that Unknown Pretenders kicks off a new chapter for Grinspoon. Like, how so?
New music after 12 years, you know, like we've been spending a lot of time activating our back catalogue, which is being lazy and just doing anniversary tours or package concert tours with other bands. And, you know, for us, it is like a new era. Like, what are people going to think? I mean, you know, we know what we think. We really like it. But what are people going to think? And, you know, we had to go back to Universal, to the record company the other day, met all these people. This is the digital team. I'm like, you guys look like my kids, you know? A lot of that stuff going on, you know what I mean? So it is. It's a new beginning, new horizons.
Yeah. You've sort of pretty much answered this, but I'll just get you to answer it properly. Like, Unknown Pretenders is taken from the recently announced album, Whatever, which comes out on August the 9th. So I was going to ask if it was a good example of what to expect musically, but telling me that everyone's done 4 songs each sort of negates that.
Yeah, well, maybe negates it, mate. You know, like there's definitely a lot of crossover, but it's definitely a Grinspoon album because that's the way it used to work with us. You know what I mean? Like everyone, we're a diplomatic outfit. You know, everything had to go through the council meetings and to get your songs worked on and all that kind of stuff. It's just a good representation of where we are now. You know what I mean? I think we've all improved as songwriters. We've definitely all probably improved as people and as the way we treat the band and the way we kind of interact with each other. No more fighting on stage.
What?
No more, you know, none of that kind of stuff. Maybe. I mean, we haven't hit the road yet. But yeah, it's just a good where we are.
Yeah. Most bands mellow as they get older, mate, but I've been a fan of Grinspoon from the start, and then that song reminds me of Dead Cat 3 times. It's like it's just back to the no bullshit first up stuff. So congratulations. You're getting younger as you get older.
I hope so. Well, you know, I've been saying to someone, I said recently, like they were talking about, you know, what's changed with Grinspoon. And the funny thing is we're really lucky, man. Like we get to go out on the road every once a year or every couple of years and pretend that we're in our 20s again. You know what I mean? Live this Peter Pan kind of lifestyle, you know? And so for us, it just felt like every time you get on stage, you're reminded of those times and what it was like to record that music and write that music. And this is, I guess, in a lot of ways, the album is like an ode to or a look back at our old material and not trying to emulate it, but trying to regain that identity that people really connected with.
You actually bring up a good point there. Like when you go back to the older stuff, you know, like people expect you to emulate that material, but it's like that was a period of time. Like there was shit going on in your life then that probably isn't happening now, but people just want the old stuff, you know. But like it's not a matter of just sitting down and going, yeah, right, we'll write it like that. It's so many factors that have got to come together.
If only it was that easy, you know what I mean? I mean, we did a lot of listening to old demos and stuff when we were doing the record, and we did a lot of work on the band, you know what I mean, as far as what we wanted to do and where we wanted to be and how we wanted this album kind of perceived, you know. And it was really, we just came back to, we wanted just to be a good time and just to be nostalgic in a way, but also forward thinking in the fact that we're probably write better songs now and we're probably better musicians now. And it was just, I guess, just a grafting of all those different experiences that we've had over the years and trying to put it into musical form.
Yeah. So along those lines, bro, like this will be your 8th album. So does it become easier or harder to come up with new sounding material the more you write?
You can tell by how long it's been between drinks for us that it's not really getting any easier. But yeah, we could have thrown something together in the intervening years that probably wouldn't have been very good. But, you know, there's no point.
True. And after 30 years, mate, you've still got the same lineup, which is absolutely remarkable. Like, not just the fact that you have, but after, you know, like, you have been through some hard times, let's say, you know, like, but the fact is, you're still together, it just speaks volumes for the band itself.
I think so. I mean, you know, I think about you kind of alluded to all the things we've been through, like, oh my God, trying to crack America, well documented issues in the media, all these kinds of things that we've been through, really has tested everything about the band, friendships, relationships, business, all those kind of things. And we're out the other side now, and we really are out the other side now. And to be honest with you, since we came back in kind of 2017, we had a 5-year break. And I think since then, the band has been in its best place it possibly been. We're not trying to sack anyone anymore. You know what I mean? We're just
no backstabbing, no bullshit.
No knives out. Stab you out. We're just really enjoying the ride, man.
Yeah, good to hear. And you've also announced a massive 48-date national tour, which goes through every state of Australia, including Tasmania, which and there's also a host of towns usually neglected on tours, like country sort of towns, mate. Like, sounds like you've created a lot of work for yourselves.
We have. It's funny, like going back to us kind of doing our back catalogue stuff the past few years, we've really just kept it to the capital cities and larger kind of regional places, Newcastle, Wollongong, those kind of places in New South Wales and in Queensland as well. We haven't done a tour like this since probably the early 2000s, But we came from a regional area. We used to tour heavily in those regional areas when we were younger. And we just felt like, well, why don't we just bring the show to these people? Hopefully they turn up. We're not playing massive venues. We're just doing it so we can get that band back to those places that really kind of helped us when we first started.
Yeah. And about half of the shows too are all ages, mate, which is very admirable. These days, that seems to be a dying trend.
It's pretty amazing that a band of 30 years can do an all ages show, don't you reckon?
I reckon it is.
I think that it goes back to that multi-generational thing, like people who are, the tradie or whatever, the apprentice shippy now owns the business. He's got a couple of kids. He brings his apprentices and his kids to the show. You know what I mean? It really does work like that with us.
Yeah. Well, did you find that you have to alter or tone down the shows for the younger ones, or do you make the younger ones worse than the adults these days?
Oh, you got to give them the full show, no matter how old they are. I mean, there's, we're not the same band as our kind of outside of music activities as what we probably once were. Yeah. So the shows are probably a lot better. You know what I mean? And they're probably more appealing to everyone, I guess, than what they may have been. I used to call us a 2 out of 3 band. 2 out of 3 shows ain't bad.
Better than Meatloaf.
We've definitely moved away, even though that made us quite exciting because you didn't know what you were going to get. But still stand up, But now, we take our craft pretty seriously. Not too seriously, obviously, but we like to put on a good show. We like to give people value for money. And once again, value for money, like we're keeping the concert ticket price down, when we go to those regional areas, because we know that it's not easy for people to get out and see bands in those places that are often more economically depressed than places like big cities. So, hopefully everything that we're doing will create a really good atmosphere for the tour.
Yeah. What can fans expect from Grinspoon Live in 2024, mate? Like we've discussed this, we're all getting a bit older, mate. Like you've got more grey hairs now than what you had when I first spoke to you 25 years ago. But do you find you have to adjust your stage show, I guess, a bit, just to sort of reflect your aching bones and shit?
I reckon we've got more energy now for playing the music than we did before, to be honest with you. I really do. I think that there's something a little bit evergreen about Grinspoon in a lot of ways. The approach we take is a lot more, as I kind of alluded to before, there's no, we don't want to fuck up, you know what I mean? And we want to give every show as much energy as we possibly can. Doing this tour is going to be a test because it's a lot of shows, a lot of week, 5 shows a week pretty much over that period of 12 weeks. So it will be a test, but I think we're up for it. You know what I mean? We're up for it. Everyone's really excited about doing it. It doesn't feel like it's going to be a chore. It feels like something we're all really looking forward to.
Yeah, good stuff. And looking forward, bro, the band's going to turn 30 next year. So, people are going to expect you to at least top this run of shows for your 30th.
The 30th anniversary tour? Yeah, okay. How
are you going to do that?
Yeah.
This is it, folks, over the top. Oh, shit hot. Well, then, all right, Pat, it's been a pleasure speaking with you again today. As usual, mate, the single Unknown Pretenders is out now. The album, Whatever, is out August 9th. The tour starts in September. So the rest of this year, or rest of 2024, is dedicated to Grinspoon. So get on it.
Get on it.
All right, bro. Thanks for your chat, man. I'll see you at
Hey,
the Brisbane show.
thanks, Chris. Excellent. Looking forward to it.